GTA 5 on the PS4 and Xbox One completely freaking sucks. Oh my god, this is absolute trash. Grand Theft Auto 5 has now been released. Yes, it's out now, okay, for the next gen or current gen systems. Let's call it current gen consoles, the PS4 and the Xbox One, and it released, came out November 18, 2014, came out just today, and this game is a pile of absolute rockstar rehashed garbage. This is just another cheap last-gen port, a cheap last-gen game ported over to the current gen, to the current systems, marketed with some, oh, we have some new additions, Guess what? The so-called added features frickin' stinks. It is completely worthless. It's not worth it. And you know what? It's another piece of waste. It's another waste of money. It's another waste of cash. There is no reason to buy GTA 5 all over again. And of course, you're gonna have the deluded, retarded idiots that will buy into this overrated, overhyped crap just like they did last year. There's nothing more sad and pathetic, folks. There's nothing more sad and pathetic. I made that video last year, alright, talking about how overrated and overhyped this piece of crap, this GTA 5 nonsense is. Alright, it's been over a year later. Alright, made a little update video. It's still overrated. And then now you got the next gen, or the current gen. I'm sorry, I keep making that error. I keep saying next gen for some reason. It's current gen. It's current gen. Damn it. That's the problem when everybody calls it next gen. That's the problem when you still have new systems. Alright? And I think that's part of that's kind of like a subtle, subconscious thing. Me calling the PS4 and the Xbox One next gen is a sign that they haven't released anything that's next gen. It's a sign that they haven't released anything fresh. Because really for the past year, they've had nothing but shitty ports, garbage rehashes, and crappy current gen games that are disappointing. Really disappointing titles. So we're still waiting and hoping to call it next gen, because that's sort of an early console mentality to have when a brand new generation of systems comes in. Oh, it's next gen, it's next gen. It's really not. We need it. We still need a real next gen game. And of course, GTA 5 is not it. This is nothing but a cheap port from last gen into the into the current gen. And oh my goodness. And then you have, okay, well, there's first person mode, there's FP mode. First person, oh my goodness, that's a little different. They included that brand new feature in GTA. We haven't really seen. People, unless you're a complete idiot, this is the Rockstar brand typical sellout move. If you thought that Rockstars were a bunch of sellout idiots back then, and bunch of sellout, shallow pieces of trash, only care about the money, this is your typical money move by Rockstar, including a first-person mode, because FPS games are popular. Of course, Rockstar tries to cash in on it, and they want, obviously, the majority of the people that buy these retarded games are the same people that buy into the hype, that buy into the FPS schlock and the FPS trend, the same first-person shooter garbage nonsense, the same predictable, formulaic, first-person shooter crap. We know what those games are. We don't even have to mention them. But FPS has been this consistently very repetitive series. They put out an FPS every single year for all these different FPS games. So Rockstar, of course, has to cash in on it and then include their own little FPS mode. And they're not even the first open world game to do this. They're not the first sandbox third-person shooter style of gang type of game to do it. Remember back in 2006, Scarface had it. Scarface had a little mode where it was like Scarface Rage mode, where Tony Montana would become enraged and and then it would turn into the first person mode. It would go first person and he would shoot down all his enemies, and he would become like nearly indestructible. He'd become very, very tough to kill. Kind of like what they did with Trevor. Trevor Phillips had that mode. He had that Rampage mode. Yeah, that's basically that Scarface game did it years and years before GTA ever had it. The only difference is, of course, with Trevor. Trevor was always third person. It wasn't exactly... It wasn't first person mode. But Tony Montana did. So they're, you know, typical Rockstar stealing ideas, jacking ideas from previous games, even something like an open world game like Scarface. You know, like they're taking ideas from a game like Scarface that they have always borrowed from, you know, games like Vice City, and they were always influenced by Scarface anyway. And then finally Scarface gets its own, you know, open world sandbox third-person shooter type of game, and it has a mode that goes in first person, that Rage mode with Tony Montana. Rockstar's pathetic, but that's just part of the problem. And then we get to the new music. Okay, we're going to talk about the new features, or the additional features of this Xbox One PS4 version of GTA 5, because supposedly they have new music in there. Let me tell you something. New music in GTA 5 is kind of like saying, oh, we have a brand new sports game. We have a brand new shooter game. It's predictable. We know what they'll include, because Rockstar is a bunch of old guys that grew up in the 80s. These guys are douchebags that grew up in the freaking, you know, the 70s and 80s, and they're like these old freaking has-been guys that, you know, they're not into the current trends. They're not into modern music. They don't know anything about modern songs and music. That's why they didn't include dubstep in GTA 5. They did not include any dubstep radio stations. They didn't have dubstep songs and artists. They didn't have any. You know, correct me if I'm mistaken, they have no dubstep music. They certainly had no dubstep stations. And I'm not going to sit here, I'm the biggest fan of dubstep. I'm the biggest fan of dubstep. No. You know, I grew up in the 90s. I grew up on other stuff. I grew up on drum and bass and, you know, grunge music and gangsta rap. That's what I liked as a kid, and, you know, that was my sound. But dubstep is a very modern type of music, and even though, you know, EDM and dubstep and trap step and bro step and all these different things, these EDM electronic dance music has become very popular, Rockstar chooses to ignore it. These old farts at Rockstar obviously decide to ignore it and go, oh, screw that. You know, because they're from the UK. Screw that, mate. We don't give a crap about this garbage. You know how they are. You know how these hoity-toity, uppity schmucks are. You know, they're so, we don't care about dubstep music, even though it originated from the UK, like garage music and all that. It's like these guys are so stuck in their own... You know, you guys have played the frickin' GTA games. They focus on mostly 80s music, you know, retro music stuff from... They'll even have songs from the 70s, the 50s even, with GTA 5. You know, a couple of songs from the 50s and the 70s, and, you know, they had that station, that park station where it basically played... Basically, it was modern singers, like, you know, guys like Twin Shadow and stuff, but their style is synth pop. So it's like that 80s, they sound like 80s. So they're modern musicians from the 2010s decade, from this decade, you know, songs that came out just a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, but they sound like they were produced in the 80s. They have a lot of 80s influence. So that's why Rockstar chose guys like Twin Shadow and all these retro acts. You know, they have that synth pop influence, and they don't even have no dubstep. How can you not have dubstep, you idiots? Rockstar, you bunch of outdated, stuck in the past, rickety-crickety old men. That's what you are. You're old men. You're bitter old men that don't want to include modern stuff. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of dubstep, but I like some of that stuff. I was expecting to hear some freaking, you know, some Skrillex and, you know, some Knife Party and some freaking, you know, Flux Pavilion or something like that. Can't include any trap, you know, you didn't include any trap step. No trap step for GTA 5? Is that what it's gonna be? So they don't have like Jensen Jaunts and Turn Up, you know, they don't have anything like that. So no trap step, and no bro step music, no, not even like, okay, if you don't want to include bro step, you don't want to include Skrillex, you could include something like even older dubstep, you know, dubstep from the early 2000s. You know, the original dubstep, the earlier dubstep, that's not like the bro step stuff we hear, because you know, a lot of these young stupid kids have no clue, and even old people, they have no idea of the history of dubstep. They have no clue about where it came from and the original sound of dubstep. The modern stuff we hear or we heard from guys like Flux Pavilion and Knife Party and Skrillex, all these guys with that, you know, that very hard music that has a very strong like new metal or metal influence to it, that's bro step. That's bro step. Bro step is that's the more harder form of dubstep, okay? So bro step came out after. It's not exactly a subgenre, but it's sort of like an evolutionary form of it, you know, a more different form of it. It's slightly more harder, it's a little bit more, you know, more bass to it, a little bit more kick to it. And basically, Rockstar, they're so pathetically stuck in the past, they're so stuck in the 80s, they can't even appreciate bro step or dubstep. You know, they can't appreciate trap step, can't appreciate trap music. I was expecting to hear, with the PS4 and Xbox One version, I can't hear any Cinema. I can't hear Cinema by Skrillex. I'm chilling here waiting for that song to come on. Hopefully, at least one Skrillex song, and you're not gonna include Skrill? You bunch of freaking you old farts. You old farts. And don't get it twisted, yo. That's a good song. Cinema by Skrillex is a work of art. That is a work of art. That's a masterpiece. That's an amazing piece of music. You know, you got the beginning, that do-do-do-do-do-do-do, you get that really slow part, the slow sing-song, you know. I could watch you for a lifetime. You're my favorite movie. You know, you got that sweet, very, very down-tempo sound, and the guy's just, you know, he's crooning, you know, he's just a crooning, singing sound, and then it's very, very slow, and and then it builds, and then he goes, you are a cinema, I can watch you forever. You know, it's like, action, thriller, I can watch you forever. And it's just like, oh my god, it's building up, and get up, and you got the drums, and the kick, and the snare kicks in, and drop the bass, and then you're just like, oh shit, dubstep, bro step is in the fucking house. We don't have that with fucking GTA, man. That is not available in GTA 5 PS4 and Xbox One edition. Oh my god, you outdated fucks. You goddamn dinosaurs. Rockstar, get your head out your asses. The 80s is done, man. The 80s is finished. I'm so sick of hearing 80s music and 80s songs, these old crap from way back in the day. If anything, they should include more stuff from the 2000s. The 90s, hello? The 90s, there's no more 90s music now, what? Include some, you know, fucking Korn or some shit. Or Deftones, hello, so, some new metal. I swear to God, I'd be happy as a clam if I heard Limp Bizkit. At least it'd be nostalgic for me. Some Limp, some Korn, some Oasis or something like that. You know, some, I mean, my God, some Bush. Some Bush. What is up with the music with GTA 5? It stinks. I mean, the soundtrack of GTA 5 fucking sucked. It was terrible. The worst GTA soundtrack ever. Fucking Vice City was dope. I liked Vice City. It sounded nice. It fit the 80s theme back in the early 2000s. San Andreas was okay, had a lot of rap stuff. GTA 4, not that great in terms of music. There's a few good songs in there, maybe one or two that I liked. Episodes of Liberty City, from Liberty City, maybe one or two songs. GTA 5, there's no excuse. And they said they were gonna fucking have 900 songs in GTA 5. But instead, they only included, what, 220 or 250 or something like that when GTA 5 came out last year. And then this year, they have a few more additions to it. We're gonna run down some of the crappy garbage they included. Look at the trash they included in GTA 5 PS4 Xbox One edition. Look at this shit. You got the Blue Arc. Oh, the Blue Arc station. Addy Truth by Vibes Cartel. This is just garbage. Royals remixed by DeMarco. Mr. Moneyman by Danny Hensworth. Topic of the Day by iOctane. Who the fuck are these nameless nobodies? These are jobbers. This is jobber music. I don't... Good God, this is so irrelevant. Channel X. Okay, Channel X. Don't Push Me Around by The Zeros. I Don't Need Society by DRI. John Wayne Was a Nazi by MDC. What the fuck? Los Angeles by X. The Enemy by DOA. So some of this stuff, I mean... Philo FM, I should say, Flylo. Eddie, You Should Know Better by Curtis Mayfield. Oh wow, Curtis Mayfield, oh my goodness, how 70s of you. You Never Come Closer by Doris. Flying Lotus featuring Crazy Bone, Medication. Flying Lotus sucks, man! These guys are terrible! Modern crap, and then, oh, Crazy Bone, oh, one guy from Bone Thugs and Harmony, who cares? It's one dude, man, it's not the entire act. I know Bone Thugs is in here somewhere, but who gives a shit about Flying Lotus? They stink. You're your typical modern day, modern rap that they're not talking about anything. They don't talk about shit. These guys are just generic rappers that they sing about weed, doing drugs, smoking, getting high. They're so fucking generic. Oh my god, this modern rap crap is pathetic. What happened to hip-hop, man? God damn. Los Santos Rock Radio, okay, Rock Radio. Humble Pie, Survivor, oh, Burning Heart by Survivor, ooh, how rocky. Kansas, Belinda Carlisle, oh my god, Broken English. ZZ Top, Mountain, Boston, yeah. So you'll Starship, We Built This City by Starship. We built this city. So you included, okay, some classic music here on the Los Santos Rock Radio, but again, you're focusing on the old shit. No fucking Skrillex. No dubstep, no bro step, no trap music. You idiots. And by trap, I don't mean, trap hip-hop, but trap EDM. Trap EDM is not represented, you idiots. The Lowdown 91.1 FM. Pleasure, Brass Construction, the Delphonics, the Jackson Sisters, the Chacachas, and a bunch of no-names, a bunch of stupid hipster garbage. 100.7 FM. This is the pop music, non-stop pop. Oh, you included Sneaker Pimps, they included fucking 6 Underground by Sneaker Pimps. Boom, boom, boom. Wah, wah. This is your down-tempo. That's not even pop! That's not a fucking pop song. That's more of it's closer to like trip-hop or something like that. Like relaxing electronica, like slow techno music. Hold me down, 6 Underground, down, boom, ka-boom, boom, whack, whack, whack. I remember that fucking song. I remember 6 Underground by Sneaker Pimps. It's like they take whatever they can find. These guys have the budget of like $1 billion, and they can only afford like certain random songs from certain artists. Like they'll include whatever is available. They got Applause by Lady Gaga. Okay, they have a Lady Gaga song. Wow, how fucking, oh my god, Rockstar, you guys are so modern. Even though Lady Gaga came out like 6 years ago. Live for the applause, applause, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Applause. Applause is so fucking old. Alright by Jamiroquai. Oh, Jamiroquai is so freaking 90s, man. They stink. Jamiroquai. They only have one good song, okay? Well, that guy was singing in that fucking moving box back in the 90s in that music video, and he was like, "Oh yeah." JK or whatever, his stupid hats. He stinks. Mike Posner, Dirty Vegas. They got Days Go By Dirty Vegas. Oh my god, some early 2000s, finally. I mean, this is a nostalgic song, there's no doubt about it, but it's such an old fucking song, and it's predictable. Days Go By is not that great of a song. It was only memorable because of that music video with the b-boy breakdancing guy. Days go by and still I think of you. And that fucking bass line it has, it's kind of groovy, you know. So they would always use it in car commercials, you know, those early mid-2000s car commercials, you know, Days Go By. Feel Good Inc. by Gorillaz. Oh my god. The Gorillaz! The Gorillaz! I haven't heard of the Gorillaz since like 2001. Since fucking like grade 8, dude. It's the music that we choose. It's the music that they freaking stink. That's old stuff, man. Damn, there's no... I'm still not seeing Skrillex. I'm not seeing fucking Skrill. I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys. Oh my fucking god. You guys included, you idiots included Backstreet Boys on a GTA 5 video game. On a Grand Theft Auto game that's supposed to be badass and hardcore. Let me tell you something. 10, 12 years ago, you would never see a BSB, a Backstreet Boys song on a fucking GTA game. And now you do. How pathetic is this? These guys have lost their minds. What's next? NSYNC? Might as well include Bye 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 in that motherfucker. Might as well include Spice Girls. As a matter of fact, I would rather include Spice Girls than Backstreet Boys. At least those girls had, you know, they were earlier and they came from the actual, you know, the mid fucking 90s, and they had catchier shit, you know. You know, that's a little bit more catchy than I Want It That Way by Backstreet. Oh my god. I want it that way. And that song is so cheesy. It sucked back then, and it still sucks now. They just did it for nostalgic reasons. Why the fuck would you include Backstreet Boys on a Grand Theft Auto game? That's not even representative of Los Angeles. That's not an LA sound. Oh, it has to be closer to LA. If anything, they should include songs like, you know, California. Remember that song? I'm going to California, gonna live my life, sipping on tequila, night after night. I would rather include that. I think it's by a band, the band called Wave. So, Wave, they did a song called California. I think they're Canadian, too. They're not even from California. What about Drinking in LA? That's another great song about Los Angeles. What the hell am I doing drinking in LA? You know, at 26, I got the fever for the flavor. That was a fucking awesome song by, what the fuck? Who sang that again? Drinking in LA by Brand Van 3000. That was the one. Brand Van 3000. Anyway, I could keep going. The rest of this list fucking is terrible. Mac Miller, Kendrick Lamar, these jobbers, these shitty acts from the modern times. Oh my god. I'm gonna blow a gasket. This is terrible. This additional music sucks. GTA 5 itself is trash because, you know, the campaign is forgettable garbage. Alright? It's way too fucking forgettable. It's not fun. Alright? The character switching, changing is very gimmicky. Oh, you can switch from Trevor to fucking Franklin and Michael. That's a gimmick. It feels like a gimmick. It's not special. You know, there's no incredible innovation there. It's very, very hackneyed. It's very, oh, okay, you can switch it. But it disrupts the gameplay. It disrupts the fucking flow of the game. Oh my god. GTA 5 is an overrated piece of sewage, okay? And anybody that buys this at full price, brand new retail, is a deluded, brainwashed moron. And I'm already seeing the scores on this on fucking Metacritic and the Metascores and all of that shit. I'm seeing it, and I'm seeing the same fucking idiots You know, the same scores where it's like, okay, everybody's giving it a perfect 10, and then you have some people that are giving it a more, you know, honest score, a more proper score. Max Benevolent gave it a 4 on the Metascore user score. He gave it a 4, of course, and he, you know, he talks about how it's overrated and, you know, fuck this game, and I'm up there. You know, Bros Toys gave it a 0, of course. Moral degradation, yeah. I mean, you got the stupid, you know, got the strip club. It's not even that fucking sexual anyway. The strip club and stuff. It's just you spend 5 minutes in there, and that's about it. You know, it's a 5-minute piece of distraction. You know, if you want something with titillation, I mean, there's the internet for that. There's the internet, and everybody else is giving it a perfect 10, like the retarded idiots that they are. These brainwashed sheep. These are sheep. God damn it. Just like last year, it's the same type of idiots buying into the hype as usual. And even, you know, I'm not even going to focus on the frickin' Metascore. It's got a 96 Metascore, unbelievable. But an 8.5 user score, so at least the user score, 8.5 and 96. Can anybody say overrated? Overhyped, as usual. And that's the thing, is like, if Rockstar tells you to fucking jump off a bridge and kill yourself, you morons would do it. You morons would do it. And that's what gets me, man. That's what gets me. These fucking... these brainwashed sheep. And it's sickening. That's it for this episode of the TruGheymer Reviews. Because I could ramble all day about GTA 5, how much it sucks. The online, of course, is a piece of sewage. You know, you got the countless bullcrap additional updates. Oh my god. GTA 5 on the PS4 and Xbox One is a piece of waste. It is trash. It is a waste of money. Don't even think about buying it. If you really have to play it, go play it for the last gen. Go get it cheap for the PS3 and the 360 or whatever. Get it for a cheap, you know, $5 or something on Craigslist. This is a waste of cash. Oh my goodness. It's not even worth it. And you're getting a last gen game. That's the number one thing you should keep in the back of your head. This is a last gen game. And that's it for the TruGheymer Reviews. Remember, this is a true gamer. You're listening to somebody who plays all kinds of tens of thousands and hundreds of millions of different video games around the world. You're listening to a video game expert. You're listening to a true gamer. And that's about it. Fuck GTA 5 and fuck anybody that bought this garbage. Jesus. The TruGheymer Reviews is brought to you by TheReviewSpace. For more videos, check out youtube.com/TheReviewSpace. Thanks for watching. Until next time.